What up, y'all? What is poppin'? What's going on, everybody? We are here. It's been a couple days, but we are live and in color. How's everyone doing this good evening? I'm chilling, child. As you guys know, if you guys have been following me on socials, I got a brand new addition to the house. And so he's been running me rampant. We got a African gray parrot. The thing is this though. I named him Ice because I assume it's a boy, but we're still waiting on the DNA test to come back. So the name might change if it's a girl. But here's the thing. I know it's been a while since I've been here, but y'all know me by now. I come in and we get into some things, and and if Ice is acting good by the end of the day, I'll bring him on the show to say hi. He's not talking yet. He's only 5 months, but he's sitting right here on a perch next to me because I'm trying to like at least bring him. And then I have this cute little perch right here, but he hates it. So he has a big one right next to me. People are like, well, why'd you get a bird? I'm like, well, because that's one of my favorite animals, birds and monkeys. I'm not really like a dog person, but I have dogs too. But I like my bird. He's cool. Anyway, someone said, why did I decide to get a pet? Well, I always wanted a bird, and I just thought it would be great to have a bird and chill with it, have it on my shoulder. It talks, I can't wait to see his personality. That's why I have him sitting here with me. We listen to R&B music together. I sing to it. We spill tea, and he's sitting here. Isn't that right, Eyes? Aren't you ready to spill some tea? He's going to be ready to spill some tea too, because it's a lot going on, right? We read books and all that stuff. African greys are some of the smartest birds, and they can say full sentences. So it's going to be great. So anyway, so it was a lot going on, but before we get started, I think, it's important for us to do a special RIP for one of the finest men in show business, D'Angelo. D'Angelo has recently passed away at the early age of 51 years old from a silent battle of cancer. And that always like kind of wears me out when, as a man, I don't even know what type of cancer it was. Let's get into that because that is really sad. It says acclaimed and reclusive R&B innovator dies at 51 after hitting #1 with Voodoo, the genre melding 2000 album that he had promoted with a risque music video. He vanished for more than a decade. Yeah, because after that, he kind of left. But I'm trying to figure out what it was, what type of cancer did he have? It's just so sad, guys, because you just never know when your time is up, and then you just never know. Oh, it was pancreatic. It was pancreatic cancer. Okay, I'm looking at it now. D'Angelo Grammy Award winner passed away with pancreatic cancer. That is so sad. But like, how do you get that? R&B soul singer D'Angelo died Tuesday, leaving behind a legacy of extraordinary moving music after prolonged and courageous battle with cancer, his family said. The influential music star born Michael D'Angelo Archer was only 51, like literally, like that's really, really young. The shining star of our family has dimmed his light for us in his life. His family said in a statement, after a prolonged and courageous battle with cancer, we are heartbroken to announce that D'Angelo, known to his fans around the world, has been called home, departing this life. We ask that you respect our privacy during this difficult time, but invite you all to join us in mourning his passing while we also celebrate the gift of song that he has left the world. He was so handsome too. Wow. How do you, let me Google, how do you get, can I ask ChatGPT? Let me ask ChatGPT, like, how do you get that? How do you develop pancreatic cancer. Let's see. Let's see if it pancreatic cancer develops when the cells in the pancreas undergo genetic change like mutations that cause them to grow uncontrollably, avoid normal cell death, and form a tumor. Over time, these cancerous cells can invade surrounding tissues and spread to other parts of the body. Here's a clear breakdown of pancreatic cancer develops, and the main focus is to involve gene mutations. It in key regulatory genes, such as, okay, I don't know all those things, are the core. These mutations can be inherited from familial pancreatic cancer, or like if people have been in their family, or acquired over time due to lifestyle and environmental exposures. Once mutations occur, pancreatic cells can bypass the body normal repair immune surveillance systems, allowing abnormal cells to multiply unchecked. Development process. Normal pancreas, a healthy organ that helps with digestion and blood sugar control. Okay. Lesions, these are microscopic pancreas. Over the years, these lesions accumulate. Okay, so in English. Okay, so here's ages. Most causes occur after 60. Smoking roughly doubles the risk responsible for 25% of pancreatic cancers. Oh, God. Chronic pancreatitis, long-term inflammation, obesity, and high in red processed meat, type 2 diabetes, family history or genetics, heavy alcohol use, occupational exposures. Oh my God. While you can't control all risk factors, steps that may lower the risk include smoking, quit smoking, maintain healthy weight, limit alcohol intake, manage chronic pancreatitis or diabetes. If you have family history, genetic counseling and regular screening at specialized centers may help catch pancreatitis changes earlier on. Oh, God. Oh, God. As I have a cocktail and a vape sitting right next to me, my nerves should be so bad. Like, what? You just can't avoid this stuff. Wow. Well, D'Angelo, rest in peace. The angel you were. All right, guys. Let's get into what else we got to get into today. So, you guys know that I did an interview on with Now That's TV, where I collaborated with the girls on Dollhouse of Now That's TV. The all transgender show is streaming now on Now That's TV. The season has since wrapped. But during the filming, they flew me out to Atlanta, and we filmed an episode of the Armand Wiggins Show podcast. And so we were kind of talking about, them being women and them dating men and things like that. A conversation that we've always had on this show here. But I want you guys to hear what the ladies had to say in regards to sexuality, and men dating transgender women. It has sparked a lot of conversation online. Now, some women are saying, hey, if a man sleeps with a transgender woman, he is not gay. Cisgender women are saying absolutely not. If you have and you are in fact a man sleeping with another man. If you put on a wig and a dress, that does not mean that you are not a man. Other people say, listen, he wouldn't like a boy that looks like me. He would like a woman that looks like me. You get what I'm saying? So here's the conversation. And I want to know what you guys weigh in. I'll give you guys my thoughts on it because it's such a deep topic. And now, men are being more trans attracted these days than ever. But we'll get into it a little bit in a second. So let's get into this conversation here. a transgender woman, you don't.
If a man mess with a boy, then he gay. I'm not a boy.
Because niggas that fuck with me won't fuck like with me. They don't like boys.
They wouldn't like me.
Like,
and I try to explain. Yeah.
And so people try to say, "Oh my God, they're gay, they're gay, they're gay." No, gay is when the same sex.
Exactly. Right. So it's just like it's
and straight people like do like girl anal play and like they do all kind of freaky
and
shit.
pegging.
Like, straight couples.
Women do pegging. They
so,
eat
like,
ass now.
I don't feel like it's...
So they learning from us.
I'm a girl with a built-in strap.
I feel like it's okay. That's a hot button topic. So if a man like. So that has caused a lot of conversation online. Here's the thing. I understand what they're saying because they're saying if a man wants a transgender woman, he likes the idea of being a femininity of a woman. But on the flip side, typically most men that are trans attracted, it's usually more of a sexual thing more than it is like a thing like where you want to be in a relationship. Many trans women that I know that have gotten rid of the candy stick or the magic wand, their relationships are a bit different. You know, some of them, you know, end up getting into a relationship, but some of them, for the most part, find it a bit of a struggle, of what I've heard, because, you know, a lot of times transgender women are, they're fetishized a lot. And so I think the princess wand is very necessary in the interaction with the straight male. So the fact that the man needs the princess wand when dealing with the transgender, it kind of leans a little bit. Yeah, I don't know. Like, that is what I don't know, because at the same time, they don't be really liking boys, but they like to have sex with women with a, you know what I'm saying? And so I don't know. Do I think that it makes them gay? No. But does it make them completely straight? No. But I don't think that it makes them gay either. So it's somewhere in the gray. We just don't have the vocabulary for it, I believe, at this point. But I don't believe a man that likes transgender women is completely gay. But just like we can't call him completely gay, we can't just call him completely straight, because in my mind, for you to be straight, you would have to like a biological male or a biological female. And I guess to be gay, you would have to like a biological, you know, of the same sex. And if we take it to a simplest form, whether you're trans or not, you know, you're either, you know, biologically male or biologically female. So I guess you could be gay. I don't know. But if we lighten up the load a little bit, if you're attracted to a transgender woman, that yes, they were born biologically male, but they transition to a woman, does that make you gay? Because if she was still a boy presenting, would you want to be with her? But at the same time, if she didn't have the magic wand, would you still want to be with her? Because that's the thing. For a lot of these men, they want both. Tits at the top, dagger at the bottom. And so that kind of requirement to engage in both gets really tricky for me. So I don't know. I'll let you guys argue that in the comments, because I don't know. I don't have a clue. But I don't think he's gay. But I don't think that it's fair to just be like he's straight. He's somewhere in the gray. Someone said chicks don't have dicks. Some women do have penises. Now that's the thing. Some women have penises. It's no shade. Transgender women are a type of woman. They're not female, but they're women. So some women do have. It's no shade. So here's the thing. I think you guys are taking it so literal when female and woman are two different things, in my opinion. Female is your biological born makeup. Woman is more kind of like how you identify. In my opinion, if you're female, if you're female presented, then you are like you can be a woman. So yes. Oh, he's over here cutting up over here. Do not start now. So I don't know. Those are my thoughts on that. And we're gonna take some calls at the end and we're gonna get into it. Uh-oh. What happened? You have something to say? He want to get into some things too. They talking about Armand, please. No, it's not Armand, please. These are the facts. I'm not going to argue with you guys, but we can talk about it when we open up the show. Okay? So there's that. Now, Joe Budden has become the official new Natalie Nunn for podcasting, okay? He has been executive producing his podcast like a messy episode of Baddies, okay? And I'm totally here for it. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. I'm here for it, okay? So, you guys know, now we cannot play any Joe Budden clips here because even if you post Joe Budden clips on Instagram, Joe Budden, they take the clips down. So you guys have to just go find the clips on social media. But Marc Lamont Hill and Queen's Flip got into it, okay, on the podcast. Now, this was a Patreon only episode. Now, for me, if you want to be honest, child, I'm not gonna lie to you. I was this close to grabbing a subscription to that Patreon to see what was going on. Because first of all, I've been in the gutters trying to figure out where the hell is Melissa Ford. At this point, I think Mel is kind of gone. I think that, she's over it, and you can kind of see that, there's a lot of inner workings with the pod, and she was feeling away, and people are feeling some type of way, and Mel just wasn't gelling over at the pod anymore. I don't watch it all the time, and I'm not subscribed to the back end on the Patreon, but just from the clips I see on Twitter, it seems like a lot of the fans didn't really like Mel like that, and she always was feeling some type of way, and every now and then there would always be an HR call. So Melissa Ford has been out sick for several weeks. I'm not really sure what's going on. They've replaced her with Don't Call Me White Girl Mona, who I think is actually entertaining. She's a little bit abrasive. Not as pretty as Mel. A little bit more burp, fart, harder to look at. One of the light-skinned women that you'd say, hey, you're light-skinned, but the cute part kind of skipped you. You know what I'm saying? But I think that that's what helps her work around with the guys. The guys don't really want to bang her. You know what I mean? She'll wear a tall tee and a baggy t-shirt, slap on a wig and maybe a baseball cap, raspy voice, and can get in there and roll around with the guys. When you're kind of too cute and soft, maybe the guys might, be checking out your butt when you go to the restroom. I doubt they're checking out Don't Call Me White Girl. So she's the type that'll, pop a beer with you, you know what I'm saying, to smoke a black and mild with you on the breaks. So I think that she fits. I said all that to say I think that she fits and I think that it works. But I like Mona because she's not afraid. But we have to call a thing a thing. I like Mona because she's not afraid. And, she kind of carries herself kind of like Mona gives me radio. You know what I'm saying? Like, just throw on whatever and then, you don't really care what I look like. What are you saying? You know what I mean? And she's entertaining. She challenges them. You know what I mean? She kind of jumps in. I think at first that she was kind of making the people feel uncomfortable because she was trying to find her footing. But yes, because she's a one mic girl, and it's like 50 different mics up there, you kind of have to do it. And she's probably seen how, in a world full of men, you kind of have to earn your keep. And Joe likes her there. I'm interested to see how long that she will stay. I'm not going to project and say I don't want her to last because I don't know. For some reason, whenever new people come into an already set show with an already set fan base, people are always counting out and betting people to fail on the show. And I know because I've been there before. So I definitely wish her well, and I think that she's entertaining, and I'm definitely here for her to make them niggas uncomfortable, for sure. Okay? Now, in regards to Marc Lamont Hill and Flip, so apparently, from the clips that I've gathered, and I'm no Joe Budden connoisseur, but from the clips that I've gathered online, basically Marc Lamont Hill felt like, hey, I need more money. You know what I mean? I bring a certain level of education, a certain level of conversation, and when I get in here and I really, really pod and I really do my job, right? And so Joe, and he said, listen, and if we need to cut some other people's money, we need to make that work. Meaning Imani, which I love Imani, he's entertaining too, crash out as well. But I love a good crash out because I'm a crash out too. Joe's a crash out. Everybody on the show's a crash out for the most part, I think, except Ice and Ish. Ish is really just be kind of feeling some type of way. But so anyway, he goes into saying he wants more money. And so, maybe, Flip and Imani's pay can get cut and he can take that money. We found that out because Joe kind of brought it to the front, the front lines. Now people are saying that Joe was messy for that because he tried to do a divide and conquer and let people know that Marc Lamont Hill was behind the scenes saying, hey, I need more cash. If you need to borrow or take or rob Peter to pay Paul, then do what you got to do because I need a little bit more money. It's always a money thing over there with Joe Budden in the podcast because people are always feeling like, Joe, you're making all this money off of us, nigga. We need a little bit more of a raise. And Joe was like, nigga, make me go viral. We need to be back number one on the complex list. Until that happens, there's no more money. But here's the thing. It makes for a great podcast. So anyway, Marc Lamont Hill and Queen's Flip is getting into it. And it was something along the lines where Flip basically, in a nutshell, don't quote me on what he said exactly, but in a nutshell, he was basically saying, hey, Marc, you're always on some ass shit, okay? You try to win the fans over. You think because you're smarter than everybody, you use big words and, you think you're talking over people's heads and, you use tricky words, And Marc he was like, you're trying to do the job so well where you're trying to win favor and win fans and do the most. And that's not what our job is to do. Our job is just to get here and do the best potting that we can. But yet you are supposed to be so booked and busy and in television and in news, but yet you spend 1,000 hours outside of the show overdoing it. Marc Lamont Hill, as he's wearing his JBP merch, says, well, am I not supposed to promote the show? I want to promote the show. And, Flip was basically saying, well, what you're doing is like on some bitch ass shit. And then Marc Lamont Hill was like, don't call me a bitch ass nigga. And he was like, well, I didn't call you a bitch ass nigga. Long story short, it becomes this big old thing where they're about to fight because Marc Lamont Hill feels some type of way. And he's basically like, you know what? I don't do this. You usually do this kind of crashing out. But don't call me out of my name because I'm taking it the wrong way. They standing up, they arguing. It's a whole thing. Joe tries to say, calm down. Marc Lamont Hill says, no, Joe, fuck that. I'm not calming down. This mother got me that he always talking crazy and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. He think mother is pussy because da-da-da-da. Ain't nobody. See, nigga, you gonna stop. You got me up. And you got Ish on the side trying to hold him back. It was a whole thing. Tim niggas was about to squabble. What I took from it, I'll be honest with you. What I took from it, a couple of things, and I'm gonna try to play devil's advocate. I don't have a favorite. I'm just gonna say what I'm gonna say. Here's my thought. Queen's Flip feels a little inferior to Marc Lamont Hill because there's no way in hell. And if I'm Joe Budden and I'm hearing Flip and Marc Lamont Hill argue, first of all, if I'm Joe Budden, I'm thinking Flip, you're an idiot. First of all, you mean to tell me you don't want this nigga to be promoting the show? This is why we have a platform. I would love for a person to come on my show and take it on as their own. So yes, if you are so inspired and you love this platform and it has actually changed your life and you've already had platforms before, but it's giving you greater visibility than any other network or platform that you've had. And not only do you want to wear the hoodie with motherfucking pride and you want to win fans over, you want to promote, that means you love your job. And you're going to keep, and you feel like this is a valuable place because you can't actually understand the words that are coming out of my mouth, nigga, go read a book. Maybe you don't understand that, but go read a book. You feel away because you feel like maybe he's a little bit condescending because of the way that he comes at you. And I personally think, Marc thinks that Flip is an idiot. The reason why I think he thinks that Flip is an idiot is because when Flip was going off, Marc was like, I don't do this. Because he was like, well, address it not right now. He was like, well, I don't address it. I'm not you. So in my mind, Flip is the one that really will address something. He'll go off. I have a friend like that. You know what I mean? Super sensitive and just kind of like too real for his own good. You know what I mean? And kind of just doesn't understand everything. And it's like time and place. And girl, like, stop being so offended. Get the chip off your shoulder. Everybody's not trying to little boy you, little bro you. Flip feels some type of way because he always feels like he's getting sunned. I don't know if that's the insecurity or people are just not respecting him in the way that he feels like he should be respected. But he has to figure out why people are not respecting him that way. Where is he falling short? Number one. Or number two, what hasn't he healed from? You know what I mean? Because it's something there because he's always feeling slighted by someone on the platform in a way where he's feeling like he's not being respected as his peers. And so I think Marc Lamont Hill observes him interacting with other people. Just because I don't say anything to you doesn't mean that I'm not observing you. But in the back of my mind, I'm observing you. I'm listening to the private conversation. I'm there behind the scenes. I'm looking at you guys on air. I'm reading the comments, and I'm thinking this guy's a damn idiot. He better not ever come over here and try this BS with me because you know what? He tries it with Joe. He tries it with Melissa. He tries it with everybody else. He tries it with me. I'm going to let him know I'm not the one because I already really don't like you like that and I don't really respect you like that. And because I'm a hoity-toity nerd, I already think I'm a little bit better than you anyway, and we're going to get into that. And so I think all of those emotions came up when Flip brought his energy towards Marc Lamont Hill because Marc Lamont Hill already don't respect you because he feels like he's not only better than you, but he's smarter than you, and he thinks that you're useless. And that was his time to kind of basically say that. Okay. Now, on the flip side, sometimes you have to check these smarty pants because it's like you can be as smart as you want to, but even a dumb mother understands, nigga, you. You nigga. Like, you don't have to have a 4.0 or be a scholar to understand you. In every book you read, you son of a. Does that make sense? Because sometimes these smart girls, they be liking to try it. You want to just pick with me because you want to brag about how smart you are. I don't give a shit how smart you are. Don't play with me. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes you have to tell you, I don't give a. You can be a career college connoisseur. You still ain't. Does that make sense? You. And your degrees, and your books, and your mama too. There. Well, sometimes you have to do that because they think they know everything, and sometimes they don't know everything just because they've read all these damn books. You know, and sometimes you don't have to do all that. You just have a little bit of common sense. And maybe they know how to pronounce the word and articulate their point better, a little bit better than you. But at the same time, you know what you meant. They know what you meant. They just knew how to say it a little bit better. But then they try to angle it where you know, they look better than you or you're inferior. Nah, you know what I meant. You know what I said. You know what I thought. Don't try to play with me. And actually, this is not brain surgery. You know, potting on the Joe Budden podcast, we're not doing, you know, we're not curing cancer and curing AIDS. We're gossiping about rappers. We're gossiping. How smart do you need to be to gossip? We're a bunch of grown-ass men over the age of 40, dad bod, chilling, and gossiping. What book do I need to read about that? It's no shade. I love to be that, you know what I'm saying? So I get it on both ends. And I was entertained. They have since made up. I think, I'm going to be honest with you. I love that it happened. This is when I make it about me, right? I love that things like that happen because it's like, oh my God, these niggas got they got a huge platform, much bigger than mine, right? And it's a mess. It's a mess. It's a mess. You know, somebody got you fucked up and they probably been having you fucked up and you needing to crash out and you crash out. And I'm so happy because I'm a crash out and I'm a reformed crash out. And all the time I'm always feeling like, oh my God, it's just me. And you guys trash me when I crash out. But no, when you're on them panel shows, you don't be knowing what's going on. And because we trained. That's why I don't really like to do a lot of podcasts with too many people because there be a lot going on and everybody feels some type of way. And And then you have some people super sensitive, and you have some people that feel like they're not being heard, and this other person feels like this, and this other person feels like that, and this person's offended by my take, and this person feels like this, and this person's trying to sway the comments, and this person's trying to sway the chat to go against me, and it's like, oh my God, I don't give a fuck you. Then they're behind the scenes talking and this and that. It's like, fucking blow me already. Stop whining like a bitch. You know? So I know how it feels. And then it just blows up because, you know, the powers that be, they're messy as hell. They don't give a damn. And they probably have a bunch of relationships. They don't really want to fire this one or that one. And they're starting to feel like, well, shit, this is probably going to be the rating. So they let the drama overflow and overflood and keep going and keep going. And see, the only time that doesn't happen is with the women. See, and, you know, linearly, I'm probably going to work with a lot of women and I'm the gay guy. So it's different. But if I'll be honest with you, even being a man working with women is very difficult. It's very difficult, whether you're gay or straight. It's just a difficult thing because I'm just going to be honest with you. Women can be disrespectful to you in a way where you can't even be the slightest disrespectful to them or perceivably disrespectful because they can always lean on, I'm a woman. And then don't be a black woman at that. Oh, you're not letting a black woman talk. Oh, you're beating up on it's just like, okay, you can have it. But the two men, Joe's probably like, thank God we don't have to call HR for this. You know, no, everybody thought that was entertaining. Had that been Melissa Ford, it would have just been a whole thing. He would have probably had to fire someone. It would have been an HR call. She would have left. People would have just been, you know, trash. Why can Joe Budden let him talk to a woman like that? And how can they let that happen? And oh my gosh, she needs to get out of here. They're so misogynistic. It have just been so much more dramatic. Thank God it was just the two men because people laughed it off and went viral and they probably made a shit ton of money on Patreon. This is why niggas really be gay for real, because it's just so much easier dealing with other niggas. It's no shame. I'm going to be honest with you. I'll be honest with you. Men can thumb it out, turn it out, curse each other out. And then it's like, all right, we worked it out on Spaces, and then we're backpotting Melissa Ford. She feels the slightest offended. She's gone for several weeks. And that is just like, okay, shit. It's just a lot. It's no shade. That's why I'm like, girl, you know, men are liars and cheaters. The thing is this, though. My mom always tells me this because it's a side note. She told me this the other day. And, you know, it was so great because I was with one of my homegirls the other day and she was going through something, you know, a little bit similar to what I have experienced in the past. But I was just talking to my mom about, you know, relationship woes and just relationship stuff in general and how I am as an individual, what my personality type is in a relationship and, you know, blah, without going into my life too much. And she goes, you know what you need? You need a woman. And I'm like, do I? She's like, you need a wife. And I'm like, she's like, a wife would love you. Because I think I was telling my mama something about, I was like, Mom, I'm obviously not a great catch. And she was like, well, why? I was like, I don't know. I just feel like I'm only attracting a certain type of person. And things that I feel like I should attract would not like me either for X, Y, and Z. And I feel like, you know, I've tried to, I make sure that I have my credit together. I got my nice car. I got my place together. I feel like I'm more of like a provider type of person. Like, you know, I'm not perfect. Don't get me wrong. I am with some bullshit sometimes. But, you know, for the most part, I've done a lot of work and my life is on track. And she was like, a woman would love to be in the space with you. And I was like, because, for me, I'm looking for a partnership. With men, sometimes I feel like it's like a competitive thing, or just men are just whores, or it's just like men are just, I don't know. And she's like, well, you need a woman. You need a wife to just come into your life, cook and clean. Because I'm not really domesticated. I'm the type of person that's like, okay, you help me, you rub my back, you do this. I'm going to go get the money. I'll figure it out. I'm going to work all day long. I'm going to make sure we're good. We're going to live nice. We're going to eat good. We're going to drive good. We're going to smell good. We're going to do all that. But bitch, I'm not going to be folding no clothes all day. I can't do that. Like, I'm not the decorative type. I don't fucking do all the decorating. But you know what? Support me, and then I will go work harder for you, and you can run the house. I just make the money. And if you're really smart, then you really know you make all the decisions, but just make me feel good. And then be my partner. And then, bitch, I'm going to do whatever you need me to do for you to make your life happier. And she was like, you need a wife. You need a wife. Until I started talking to this woman. Well, not talking to the woman, but, having a conversation with this woman. And she basically was saying her life is in shambles as well. Her life is in shambles as well. So it doesn't matter if it's a husband and wife, it's just a mess. Relationships in 2025 are disgusting. Okay? Straight people's life, everybody is so open, everyone is so fluid, everybody's so free, and nobody wants to commit until they're damn near dead with diabetes, pancreatic cancer, gout, high blood pressure, cholesterol, booty do, dad bod, hair patches, gray hair on the nuts. Then they want to settle down. And then sometimes they don't have enough money. You know what I'm saying? Gosh. Anyway. I feel like that could be a whole live that we get into. Maybe that should be a Patreon episode. Somebody said men are just confused. Women are confused too. I don't want to lean too much on them. Let me tell you. Are women not confused? Look at the women that you guys look up to. Still married, they having babies. They just met the nigga this year. They just look at the Cardi B situation. She's married, got a whole kid, and what do you mean? Women are confused too. We don't know what the hell we're doing these days. Okay. No, it's no shade, but I mean, come on. And the thing is with women want you to have a certain amount of money because these days women are just gold diggers. Okay? Women have conditioned themselves. I'm not going to say this person because they're going to get mad at me. They're not a celebrity. It's one of my family members. We get into it all the time because I think that they're just very delusional because one of them just feels like they should just sit and receive. And I'm like, why do women just think that they just show up? This is why I'm like, I would never date a woman because, girl, what? You just do nothing? But just be the woman? I have to pay, have to work, have to cook, make sure you eat, open the door, make the bed, do the finances, do this, do that, and you just get to show up in all this glory and be the woman, pay for extravagant vacations and wedding rings and everything, and you don't even have a job, and I just, you just decide I want to go to France today, and I'm supposed to book that motherfucker, and it's like you need hair, nails, and wigs and weaves and yeah, you might suck some dick. You might? Girl. No. I could never debate be with a woman because, bitch, hell no. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I cannot do it. I was like, girl, are what? I would never be with a woman. That is too much. I don't even know why, because that's crazy. Girl, you just don't do nothing. You just don't do nothing. You just exist. Yeah, that wouldn't work for me. I know it wouldn't work for me. That's why I tell my mom, that's too much pressure on me. mm. So yes. So anyway, let's get to some of the other tea. So let's get to what you guys really came here for. Nicki Minaj. Girl. Nicki Minaj. Nicki Minaj. She came out and said, let's go to Twitter. Nicki Minaj has said that 3 different people have stolen from her. 3 different people in the span of 2 months charging my Amex without permission. Some couldn't even explain how they had the brand new card number. A couple of them have been doing it for years. Filed the first report a couple of weeks ago. They're all lying and going to jail. And here's some of the amounts. 1010, $7,000, $5,552, $4,333, 8,000 big ones. Playing with Nicki Minaj's finances. And so immediately I'm like, well, girl, was Cardi B correct when she said, because y'all remember during the beef, for the girls that don't remember, Cardi B came out and said this. Cardi has kept the truth is you've been diagnosed with schizophrenia and bipolar for almost 9 years. And you also on heavy drug, and you don't listen to nobody around you. The only person that has the power is Kenneth Petty. But you know what happens with that Amex when you're sedated. So Cardi B, while she did not exactly say it was Kenneth Petty, she alluded to Kenneth Petty playing with Nicki Minaj's Amexes. Here's what I thought was interesting. And I said, was Cardi B right? Was there some tea to this? People jumped down my throat and said it wasn't her. You know, it was the stylist, DeAndre. Now, Tasha K had put out that it was the stylist that she had found. Because I'm like, well, what is going on? I'm seeing Tasha K post. And so I had to figure it out. I had to hit Tasha K, like, girl, what is the tea? Is because I don't know anything about this stylist. So Tasha K had put out that Nicki actually filed a police report against DeAndre Tristan, the stylist, last week for stealing money. And other names are expected to drop soon. Okay? So Tasha K had put that out. And so it confirmed that DeAndre was the one that stole. Now, also what actually was put out too, that DeAndre Tristan, who was accused of allegedly stealing from Nicki Minaj while working with her as a stylist, was charged with credit card fraud in 2010. He was allegedly paying for 5-star hotels with faulty credit cards and changed his name to avoid connection to previous incidences. He got major celebrity gigs in the industry after styling Michelle Williams and Destiny's Child and spending a lot of time at Beyonce's birthday parties. So I tried to find DeAndre's page on Instagram. Let me see if on Twitter, DeAndre Tristan. I don't know if it always was blocked or private, but this is her. She looks like a quirky, peculiar woman. Very quirky and peculiar looking. But apparently she gets the job done. But you know what? We've all done a little fraud here and there. I know I did a little fraud back in my day. You know, I ain't gonna lie, I did a little fraud. You know, just trying to figure things out. So, you know, she did a little fraud. I don't know if she's still fraud. I mean, you got all these connections. I don't know why you're stealing. But see, there's always two sides to a story. Did Nicki not want to return the clothes? Did she actually damage the clothes? Did he have to pay for it out of pocket? He said, girl, I'm going to pay for it with your money. I don't know. And so apparently he's been doing a little bit of fraud. Now, the thing is this, though. Nicki Minaj has also since unfollowed Pedro. Pedro's a short, bad-built Hispanic man in his mid-30s that used to hand out the raffle tickets during the Pink Friday 2 tour. Pedro started a lot of mess. He used the words like nigga. And then every now and then you would have to go through Pedro to collect your earnings and rewards that Nicki Minaj would divvy out and dish out via Station Head and Twitter. Some women or whatever have, you know what I'm saying? You know, there was a woman that called on to my show and she said that I think it was something around the lines of about $500 that Pedro, you know, was supposed to give her from Nicki because she had won a contest. And child, she had been trying to get her story out, but Nicki was so heavily in bed with Pedro, she couldn't really get the story out and nobody would really believe her. But apparently, she had never got the finances. She had been contacting Pedro, and Pedro had kind of been continuously, you know, flagging her off, saying, I'd hit you next week. I'm going to hit you in a month. The queen is busy. I'll get you. Send me your cash app. Send me your this. To the point where, girl, almost a year had passed. She never got the finances, but Pedro did ultimately block her. Yes. So he ultimately ended up blocking her. I blame Nicki Minaj for that. I love Nicki, but at the end of the day, you should have had one of your own. Just because she was Mexican didn't mean she was right. That's where we go wrong as black people, and I get it. Sometimes we don't do right by our people, but just because they have proximity to whiteness don't mean it's clean and clear and under control. White Hispanics and white people and the Caucasian, they're just as dirty. It's no shade. She could have gave that job to a black queen. You gave it to this 35-year-old bad-built Mexican. For what? She don't even fit the vibe check. And she over here taking the people's money. And now you have to unfollow her. I don't feel bad. No more chorizo for you. Pedro! All that nasty stuff you did to the black community. All that stuff you did under Nicki Minaj's nose. All those N-words you used. All that money that you kept. Wow. Was it you? Did you have a Spanish conference call with Cardi B? Hola, ¿cómo estás? Bienvenido, y tú, American Express, para you. I see you. I got him. Hola, Cardi. Bueno, yeah, pero I got it de ti. Agárrate, tío, Nicki Minaj. What does it says? What does it say in the teeth you got? What a tito le said that guy. Pero she the remedy is better to get it the petty in the puto pinto and they fight at me. So who says that? Bitch, I can't even talk stupid. I don't know how to even pretend to talk dumb. But you get what I'm saying. Was there a conference call? Because listen here, I'm going somewhere with this. How did Cardi B know something was going on with the American Express? Somebody was speaking a motherfucking Spanish on the sideline. I don't know who, or somebody was translating something, or somebody was in the writing room and spilling tea. Now, can we talk? So then the girls are gagging because listen, they're trying to figure out who's stealing. And we're going to go through this audio of Nicki Minaj. It's a 30-minute clip. Nicki Minaj alludes to the fact that it was highs and lows and it was clients and it's. Here's the thing. People then start, attacking Arrogant Tay and they start saying, well, now he's following Cardi B. I don't follow Arrogant Tay. I don't really know much about him. I don't know if he had been following Cardi B or if he just started following Cardi B. My take on Arrogant Tay is the fact that he's always given me that he wasn't really interested in the limelight. He makes his money, he does his thing. But Tay also suffers, I feel, with anxiety disorder, like a lot of us. And I feel like he's too booked and busy to want to have to steal. I think Nicki Minaj was a good client for him, but I think Nicki Minaj was a bit boring for him. I think Arrogant Tay likes his regular girls, and I don't mean regular just not regular 9 to 5, but even though I do feel like he likes those, but he likes his R's, he likes his dream dolls. Those are his friends. He likes his girlfriends that he can kind of hang out with and do his thing and be outside. Right now, he's slaying Ice Spice's hair. And so I think that Nicki Minaj is a lot for him. They've fallen out many different times. But for him to follow Cardi B, for me, I'm just like, well, there's no return, especially if this was recent. What had happened? So either one or two things. I feel like he just got to a point where he's like, girl, I don't really need to work with you. I'm always booked. I'm one of the most sought after hairstylists in the world, especially in hip hop culture. I definitely don't think he needs to steal anything. He's too booked for that. And too many people want him to do his hair. And I feel like that's little money for him to steal. I would be gagging if it was him. I don't think he needs to do it 100%. He's too booked. He's too sought after. He's too popping. And the nigga never really gave clout chaser like that. He's fallen out with Nicki Minaj so many different times and did his own thing. He does not need her. And he doesn't need to feel bitter about not working with her, because if he stopped working with her, his books would open up with even more people dying to get their hair done by him. So he's always going to have work. When you can provide a service and it's sickening like that, he's one of the ones that he doesn't need. Nicki she needs him more than he needs her at this point. He doesn't need her as a client. So I'm just saying, this is just real. He doesn't need her as a client. To follow Cardi B, if this is recent, because I don't keep up with him enough to know if this is recent or not. I just feel like it gets to be one of those situations where, Nicki, you're not really my friend. Cardi B, you're not my friend. You girls are clients. I have my friends. Dream Doll's my friend. I like, what is the girl name that stayed Moneybag Yo? Those are my friends. You girls are rich women, and you guys are going to come with a budget. And I don't want to be in the middle of whatever y'all got going on, because, girl, I'm here for the check. Okay? Don't put me in that. Put me in the invoice. But if he did go follow Nicki, unfollow Nicki and follow Cardi B, I think he could. And if we are on the subject of stealing, it would have had to been, in my mind, either A, Nicki Minaj had really had him up and told him that he was stealing. He told her, girl, absolutely not. And she probably cursed him out and called him every glitter bottom from the heaven to hell. And he said, all right, bitch, I'm done with you talking to me this way. I've been sparing you long enough. I don't even want to work with you anymore because, girl, this is the last time you're going to talk to me in this way. And, girl, I didn't steal nothing from you, and you're not really even understanding it. And you're just so blah, 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 blah. So, girl, I'm out. Or, girl, she just like, well, I just don't want to be in the mix of any of this stuff. And if you don't want to work with me because of that, I don't care because you're not my friend. I don't really need you. So I'm out, bowing out gracefully. I'm going to do my thing because I don't care about this drama shit you got going on. So I think that Arrogant Tay by default got thrown in the middle of some Cardi Nicki stuff. And honestly, he shouldn't be in it because he's not an artist in that way. He's not a rapper. He's not anyone's personal assistant. He's a hairstylist. He doesn't technically have to have loyalty to Nicki. He can do everyone's hair. He's his own entity. And so I think that people shouldn't even try to drag him into that. So there's that. But the tea is somebody is over there talking to Cardi B. Now, here's the thing. It's not really good to assume who we think is doing the stealing because if you know Nicki, like we think we know, Nicki will put something out there, and the truth is, the person actually stealing could be some dirty, dusty Queens nigga that none of us know. But because it's more entertaining to think that Cardi B and Pedro got onto a Spanish call, and that's who we know, that's what we want to run with. To be honest with you, I'm leaning towards we don't know none of the motherfuckers that's stealing, except the motherfuckers that's stealing. Nicki just put it online, but really, they probably ain't nowhere near online. Honestly, it probably ain't nobody that you think it is. Who the hell thought it was DeAndre Tristan? That shit was boring. Wasn't that boring? Who the hell is he? I'm sure it's more of that. Now, what's more interesting is, though, who's the one in the inner circle going back? Follow me. Maybe they're not going directly to Cardi B, or they are once they get fired. But who's the one in the inner circle that's going back to their inner circle that's connected to Cardi B that's spilling the tea? Schizophrenia? American Express? Somebody that Nicki trusted and told about that either went to Cardi B, that might be too obvious, or went to their homegirl, who then went to their homegirl, who went to Cardi B. Either way, there's a mole in your camp. Your child's favorite number is 5? All of that? What is the T? 9 years is a specific number. Somebody told you that. The truth is, you've been schizophrenic for 9 years? Why not 7? Why not 10? Why not 2? Why 9? Where did you get that number from? Somebody told you that. Word on the curb is, now I don't know how true this is, but the streets are talking, and they're saying that Nicki really took that to heart. And apparently, this is allegedly, I don't know how true this is, don't quote me, but they're saying that there was an exam. she went and got an exam. There was a doctor's visit. I don't know if it was for this, whatever, but apparently a doctor's visit is being, doctor's appointments have been made. Doctor visits have been had. They're saying there's no schizophrenia and all this stuff. I don't know. This is what I'm hearing. Really, just ICE came and flew in. Not y'all want to see the bird? I'm gonna show y'all. There's the little bird that came and told me what the tea was. I'm gonna show y'all the bird in a minute. Flew in and said, "Hey, the girls that went through and got a medical exam are working on it." Now, usually, when the girls go and do things like that, that usually means a lawsuit is going to come after, because you go and get the exam, in search and discovery, and then you go and do a lawsuit. I don't think Nicki is going to let that really slide, especially if it's not true. But because it came from a place and only Nicki and Cardi B would truly know if this was just internet fodder or bitch, you got some inside tea. And the fact that it feels like Cardi B had some real inside tea, whether it was directly spot on or in the neighborhood, I don't think that Nicki's going to let that go, because where there's a little bit of tea in a cup, you got to know there's a teapot that was brewed with more to be poured. Does that make sense? With more to be poured. You don't just do a little bit of tea. You know what I'm saying? And so, this, my friends, is the beginning of a very nasty saga. I thought it was over, but girl, this feels like a behind the scenes battle. We just got a little salacious internet fodder. But these women hate each other. And they sitting up and digging up tea. And Cardi B is sitting somewhere recording and collecting information all day on Nicki Minaj. And welcoming nasty, salacious tea. For moments like this. This is crazy. This just in, Us Weekly comes and says that Nicki Minaj, oh yes, Us Weekly, didn't just stop at the American Express. Well, Us Weekly said, let's just put out an article today. Nicki Minaj's $20 million LA home at risk of being seized over massive debt owed. Now remember, Cardi B also said that Nicki Minaj was in severe debt and she was touring for free.
Okay? Shit gonna get ugly. Okay?
What is the tea? Nicki Minaj's Los Angeles mansion is at risk of being sold off due to a massive unpaid debt she and her husband, Kenneth Petty, had refused to pay. Us Weekly can exclusively report. On October 6th, Thomas Winnemuller, who was awarded $503,000, that was about 2 weeks ago, so he won that, from Minaj. Well, she had to pay. Why didn't we hear that? And Kenneth Petty, in a lawsuit over alleged assault by Petty in 2019, asked the court to order the rapper's home to be sold to help him collect on money owed. Okay, so you got to catch the wording of this title. Winnemuller, who was security guard at one of Minaj's shows in Germany, said Minaj owns 11 bedroom, 16 bathroom, 11,800, damn, that's some money, square foot home in Hidden Hills. The entertainer Nicki got some coin, $19 million in December. In his motion, Winnemuller explained that he believes the home is worth enough to pay off the mortgage liens and his debt. He's not going to win this. He pointed out that Minaj has $13 million in mortgage liens on the home and a $722,000 homestead exemption, together just under $14 million. Oh, okay. Ooh. Their property's current fair market value is appraised at $20 million, yielding approximately $6 million in equity, the lien and exemption. The amount is more than sufficient to satisfy the judgment, plus accrued interest and enforcement costs. He said the law does not require him to exhaust other collection efforts before asking for a debtor's home to be sold off. Here, there is no doubt that the sale of the dwelling would satisfy the entire judgment with millions to spare, he said. I don't think he's going to get her home, but to try to throw in all this debt she had. So basically, he's trying to take her house. I don't think he's going to get her house. But we don't know if she's got about $14 million in debt and liens. Oh, child. I don't know. I'm not in these people's finances, but that is a mess. My. That's a lot. They're over here in Nicki's finances bad, and somehow Cardi B knew about her liens and finance. And remember, she sent that information to Ken Barbie. Cardi B is heavily in Nicki Minaj's business. And why would Us Weekly report that? Wow, that's some tea. Well, let's head over to Twitter and see and check out the latest. Wow, what a day. Wow. I don't know nothing about this lady finances. And it's definitely above my pay grade. I wish I had $1 million. Okay. So I can't even begin to discuss $14 million in debt. All right. Having your husband, Nicki Minaj tweeted, having your husband and having tea. Having your husband is greater than having tea. That was a whack at Cardi B. She also tweeted, let this be a gem you cherish your forever. Satisfy your husband. It's much greater than stalking someone else's marriage. Yes. Cardi B may respond. I think, Nicki, I will say this. With everything happening right now, Cardi B really has got some information, and you're setting her up to really be able to whack you. You get what I'm saying? So I feel like Cardi B's reads are starting to stick a little bit more right now because she seems like she's got more tea on you than you got on her. That's like happening. I also want to go back to the fact that about the whole it being Kenneth Petty. I think it's important to note, if it was Kenneth Petty, I never thought that Kenneth Petty was still in the money. And even if it was Kenneth Petty still in the money, that's her husband, her baby father. Girl, Kenneth Petty already has to register every month. So she's at that point where, girl, I don't think she would give a damn, number one. And then number two, she's definitely not going to come out and point out that her American Express accounts have been compromised a week after Cardi B pretty much said your husband was stealing your money. Even if that were true, she's not finna give Cardi B that. So let's be clear. Even if it was Kenneth Petty, y'all should know Nicki Minaj at this point either A, don't give a damn, and B, ain't gonna even see it. So she has made up her mind that her husband is not the problem. So that is not going to be the thing. That's not going to be the thing at all. That is her man. She's sticking by him, right, wrong, or indifferent. And girl, it is what it is. So she does not believe that it's him. I feel like Cardi B used that because that's what A, she was told, but then two, it makes for a better read in the heat of an argument, just being honest. It makes for a much better read. You know what I'm saying? So let's continue. Let's go to Nicki's Twitter and see what she got going on. Let's just go down her timeline. Twitter is the family event you say you're not going to anymore, but you go to every year. At least you can be your full self and get the tea, tell the tea. TikTok is the job function you go to where you're being kind and everyone else is too. They don't know you're a fucking psycho yet. I know Twitter isn't a real place because TikTok literally is like being on another planet. Like they're real over there and having a good old time. Laughing at like not a care in the world. Knowing peace, knowing tea. Okay. The only thing, I'll be honest with you, that I be with Nicki, and this is just me, and maybe I need to grow. And maybe I need to mature. It's no shade. And I'm not alleging any because I think we all got some. But I'll be honest with you. I be with Nicki all the way. This is going back to my other things. Until she starts doing, and maybe, and first of all, let me just say this. I am okay to be wrong, and I know that anything can happen. But in one of those messages, she was like, people are stealing from me. It was a fourth person, high and low, this, that, and the third. But then she had jumped out and said, and there is also one as following me with a tracking device. Very Jaguar right coded. When we start getting to tracking devices in Rock Nation and Desiree Perez, I think that's so far above my head. I'm just thinking, woohoo, we've gotten there. Now we're in space. Not saying that it's not true, but I just feel like that's the type of shit you see in movies. You know, like I just feel like, woo, the tracking device, and now it's Rock Nation and Desiree Perez. Now we're talking to Tokyo Tony. Now it's Jaguar right on the stand. You know what I'm saying? Tokyo's my girl. That's more of a Jag coded. That's more of a Jag. And Jag, I love Jag too, but it's very Jaguar right coded. You know, the tracking device is here. And then there was a bomb threat sent, and Diddy from the jailhouse called Jay-Z, who was banging Desiree Perez, who FaceTimed Cardi B, who emailed it to Megan Thee Stallion while Arrogant Tay was doing her hair and Pedro was making tacos in the back. And somehow they took my card. And so that's when I'm like, okay, I start to click off. Does that make sense? You know what I mean? So that's when I go, I'm going to check out a little bit on this post, but okay, I'm with you up until there. Just because I'm not ready to go that far yet. I'm not mature enough for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think and it's okay. I'm just not smart enough. I understand my IQ don't go that far. Just not yet. I'm okay with that, though. I think I'm okay with that. I think I'm okay with that. Because you'd be surprised. Anything can happen in the music business. But I just know where I feel myself like, okay, I've checked out. I'm just being real. There's no shade. Okay. Now, do you guys want to get into this live or are you guys tired? Do you want to get into... Let's see. Do you guys want to get into it? Because I think also what's important, outside of that, the music Nicki talked about actually quitting music and not putting out the album. And I thought outside of all the salaciousness, that was a really important thing about that space that I enjoyed. Um, I don't know. It was like I thought that was important. Probably didn't really want to focus on that, but I thought that was very interesting. Do you guys want to get into that? Because I thought that was very interesting. Let's get into it. Hey.
Barbs, are you there? Barbs. Barbs, can you hear me? Some little person got me in my room. He's been acting like he. I don't know who this little man thinks he is. But anyway, child. So yeah, child. So bitch, I said, hold on.
Okay.
I know. A bitch ain't playing. Okay. Now, first off, let me say to the Bobs, hi Bobs, I love you. Woo, now, first of all, Bobs, let me say, Bobs, I'm so proud of you. As always, you are the best people a girl could ask for. You know what, my darlings, when you, oh gosh, you guys, you know how they always say, like, during an investigation, it's not good to assume and let your emotions dictate the investigation, because sometimes you could be focused on one particular suspect and then the other, and so you're so tunnel um driven vision. Yikes, metaphor heaven. So my God. So they approved Nicki like my credit score 7. Bomba pussy clot. Yo, I just said tunnel driven. I mean, don't get tunnel vision. Nah, y'all gotta nah, come on, yeah. So, this music,
Oh, here's where she starts to surprise it.
this music that I'm working on,
Tell us about this music.
um, is the best music. I think it.
See, I don't let her gas me up with that stuff. I mean, I like it, but every music she makes at that current time is the best music, and really, it's what she feels like. So when she starts doing that, I start checking out a little bit. Like, here we go. I just rather you not even say it and just drop it. Like, I don't like when she tells us it's the best, because her best is not it's my best. You don't tell me I almost want you to tell me it's the worst, because that usually means when you tell me it's the best, you're doing something that I don't want to hear. You're doing something that you feel like doing at that time. And that's not what we, the people, are looking for.
If you want to know the truth, the truth is, it's. See, I don't want to say that because y'all are so fucking. Ugh. Ugh. Because if I say it's gonna be, and then I say the name, then it's gonna be. So, fuck all of that. This. Barbs, today. Today, I realized that it's the music for you and for me.
Yeah.
It's the music.
Uh-huh.
Because I don't really give a shit about any of this, but it's the music.
You guys have to listen to this part. This is a good part. This is important.
When I come back to the music is so incredible that I would Okay,
I'm going to fast forward her and go 2 times just because we have to get through this.
truly feel selfish in this way, like in the big scheme of things. I'm not even trying to be funny. I would feel selfish to not give the music in this climate that we are in because it is so important and it's so great and the music is so freaking important. And even when I say, you know what, F it. I'm not even gonna put anything out anymore. I'm good. I want to do this and do that. When I come back to the music, I just, oh God, I would feel it's just not fair. I would feel like I had the ability to snap my finger and make you grow hair out of your bald spots, and purposely kept that information to myself and just knew that could help the world. And you know what I mean? Since one person wanted to laugh, they the one that's gonna get invited up. Since motherfuckers wanna be on my shit, not doing shit and saying shit.
Oh, girl.
Yeah, I told motherfuckers to put out my shit. Motherfuckers wanna laugh, I'm fucking joke. You know what I'm saying?
Girl, I'm just like trying to listen. I'm trying to hear about the boss fights.
No, about who?
You was talking about boss fights and stuff.
Oh no, because what I had said, no, because what I'm saying is, no, and y'all know my serious voice.
Okay, so we're going to slow it down so you can hear because I think this is important. No, today, I'm not gonna lie, guys. I've been, I was gonna say, fuck the music. She was going to say the music.
But I had a real conversation today with my husband, and I said I can't withhold the music because there's a bigger meaning and I can't explain it. And he understood. And he was like, it's because that's your gift. And I said, no, but everybody knows that's my gift, but that's not what it is. That's not the reason. And I wish that I didn't feel that way. Like I wish that it didn't matter. But it matters to the people. It's for the people.
This is a good point because she was basically saying, I would want to quit and I don't need it. I don't want to do it. I've done it all, but my fans need it. And girl, this is a fact. She cannot quit right now.
It matters because of how happy the people will be when they hear the music.
That was so important to me because outside of anything personal, when Nicki Minaj or any of your favorite artists drop, you need that happiness. And not to go too deep, but every single day that we're on this earth, we're all searching for that little bit of happiness. And although people like Nicki Minaj are celebrities as well, they provide little dopamines of happiness to us in our regular lives through their artistry. So if she were to quit right now, it would devastate a community in a world of people. It's no shade. And I think she knows that, and she realizes that. And I think it's important to say this because there's some girl, some guy, hell, there's me. I need her to still drop music. She cannot go away because she adds to my happiness, to my excitement, to my will to want to go out, turn up. And like, because on a deeper level, guys, this life is temporary. We have a bunch of crazy shit going on. We have happy moments, bad moments, dramatic moments, and then our mom dies, our family member dies, our spouses dies, then we die. It's like, girl, reality is really fucked up. But if I can go into a Nicki Minaj beat and get my life for 2 minutes or 3 minutes, and I don't have to think about all that crazy shit, and she's gonna say what I need her to say, or just at least give me that little bit of dopamine where I'm like, girl, I can make it through it. If you can do it, I can do it, and I'm happy. I need that. So she cannot quit yet because she is saving lives. Much like I feel like we're doing here too. You know what I mean? Because you girls, I feel like you girls will be lost if I just quit. I feel like quitting all the time, but I know if I just quit, y'all will not have it. If I just quit, I know it. I know I can't quit. I've tried to quit, and y'all don't let me quit. But anyway.
And it's so important that people find their little, moments of happiness along the way, all the time, as often as possible. And I feel like, and maybe that is what people feel like, and maybe it feels like, I don't know, but the music is so wonderful that I'm having a hard time withholding it.
Oh,
Like
drop the
how a lot of you
record.
hoes have a hard time withholding your pussies
Oh, drop the record.
and your asses and your mouths. It's like sometimes I just wake up in the morning. But the thing is, you guys, is that honestly, guys, I don't know how I don't know how to say, hey, Barbs, no more music.
Oh.
I guess I just don't know how to, I just wouldn't know how I would ever say, whatever, like, it would feel like withholding a hug from someone you love when they really need it the most.
Oh, this is important.
Like,
I like this part. Then we can get to the stealing. She talked about withholding a hug from someone you love. Listen.
what it would, like, it would feel like, withholding a hug from someone you love when they really needed it the most. Like that you don't need the hug, but they need it and you have it, and it's just naturally, you're not going to lose anything because this is something that comes natural to you, but they need it.
So boom, what she said right there was to me like, my fans, this is nothing for me. I can make records till I'm blue in the face because it's easy, but I've done it. I don't need it anymore. I've done it. It's caused me a great deal of success, which I'm appreciative for, but it's also caused me pain and trauma, and it started to feel like a job. It's just a lot. And I'm at an age where I could retire, and I'm proud of myself. But if it's not going to hurt me to do it, it's not going to cost me anything. I can do it in my sleep. But I know that my people are yearning for it like crack. And it's really a flip of a light switch for me. But for them, it's life-changing. Why not do it? That was really kind of a flex, too. Because that's what she said. Oh,
that
I thought I was
poem.
playing it. Sorry.
um,
Okay, so let's get to the stealing.
make it quick. And I can't. I just love music. So, okay, my darlings, I'm gonna let you go for a little. Know that you too.
Oh,
But what I was gonna say. Oh, hold on. What I was gonna say, guys, is please, please lighten up and laugh and smiling and sweet. Bring a huge plate to eat food. To speak about stuff is that right now I would have been said that. I don't even put nothing on like work at times.
bold statement.
Where's the stealing? She basically insinuated. Hold on.
I don't know why, but I feel that. Next. Oh, you got caught. You know what I'm saying? Just bitch. A billionaire with a motherfucker
Oh, here we go.
to the top. Been stealing.
Here we go.
You know what I mean? But yeah, it's a little bit spooky. And sometimes I've let people do things just to see how long they would do it. You know, I don't know why I do that. I don't know. Something is maybe a little bit, but so from a lot, so different tiers of people. So different tiers of people from the lowest tier
Mm.
to the top.
The lowest tier to the top tier have been stealing.
Been stealing, wheeling and dealing.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, child.
Not stealing.
Get them, queen.
Yeah, child.
So what, Nicki? What exactly would you consider the lowest tier? Would it be Spanish? Pero? Queso? Pedro? And what is the top tier?
Yeah, cause what the fuck? Who the fuck you thought you motherfucking playing with?
Child, they must ain't know who they were playing with.
So yes, guys, you guys are gonna watch that full video. It is live on YouTube, okay? But before we get out of here, I just want to say shout out. Let me see if Ice will come on. He is tearing his food up real quick. He's probably not gonna want to hang out too much, but this is the birdie that I get all my tea from. Okay, come on. Come on, Ice. Let's go. Step up. Step up. Step up. Step up. Come on. Step up. Look. Come on. Come on. Step up. You gonna come? Here, step up right here. Step up. Step up. Come on, fool. Come on, fool. He's probably gonna try to get on my head. Look, he's gonna get on my head. I don't know why, but he don't want to talk right now. But eventually, he will be doing the show with us. Let's see. Hey, look at him trying to tear my stuff up. Ice, come here. But yeah, this is my show's over, guys. This is just now Animal Watch. We got to hang out now. He's been sitting here giving me all the tea. This is who's been giving us all the tea. When I tell you the little birdie has been spilling the tea, step down, step up. Come on. Come on. Oh, God. He's trying to get on my head. I don't know why this dude likes to get in my head. It's like, girl, come on. But yeah, so he's the one that gives all the tea. He's going to try to tear my headphones up. But yeah, he's only 5 months old. It's African gray. I love him. He's so cute. And he's actually very, very quiet. He's not really that loud. So welcome him. He's going to be trying to tear up all of my stuff and climb on my head. But all right, y'all, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Follow, and we'll be making content with him later on when he's able to talk and really spill some tea. That's why I have him sitting in the room with us so he can gossip with us later. But right now he's just trying to learn his location. And so right now he's just a baby and he's like tearing me up right now. Do you let him free fly? No, he don't fly. Come on. Hey, you see him bite me? Why would you bite me? He's annoying. Like, why would you bite me? Look, he's trying to climb on my head. He's going to get on my head. He's definitely going to get on my head. That's what he does. He's getting on my head. He's so annoying. Like, bro, why are you getting on my head? Why are you getting on my head? This is what he does. He's going to get on my head. And so the damn bird likes to walk around on my head all day. I don't know what it is about my head, but he likes to stand on my head. So yeah, this is my life. All right, so he's looking outside. All right, so make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Say bye. Say bye. Can you say bye? Say bye. Ice. Say bye. 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 Oh my God. Oh, you're getting comfortable on my head. Please don't shit on my head. Oh, he's about to shit on my head. I feel it. Don't. Come on. Can you come off my head, please? Please don't shit on my head. All right, guys. I gotta go before I have bird on my head. I'll see y'all later. Oh my God. Peace out. Why are you doing this? Wait. Come on. Come down. No, don't bite. No. Why? Can you come down, please? This is an expensive hat. Like, come on. All right, y'all. I gotta go. Bye.